Good morning, everyone. I'm Mickey. Welcome. This is Luna, we call her nickname is the squirt dog. So she's going to join us for chair yoga. And I decided to put a blanket on my chair because I was feeling like the more I was practicing in the chair, it was a little hard on my sit bones. So I felt like it would be nice to have a blanket. And then I also have a pillow and a ball, and then you might gather a strap or something you can use as a strap. So I'm going to set the strap off to the side. We'll start by just grounding down with our feet. So if you're standing, you might use the chair for support. And if you have even just a tennis ball, this is a big yoga ball, but I don't think it's necessary. A tennis ball would work. You could start to massage your feet. And if you don't have a prop like this, you could always just start to imagine your feet are in sand. Maybe you just wiggle your toes, massaging the sand. And of course, you can also do this from your chair because this is a chair yoga class. So I'm just going to get cozy on my chair, and I'm just using that pillow right behind me for a little bit of support, help lengthen through the spine. So we'll just start to ground down through the feet. And as you find just a little foot massage, whether it be with a prop or without, just start to imagine that you have little bubbles of gratitude bubbling up from your heart center. You might even close your eyes and send those gratitude bubbles all the way down to your feet. And it's almost like you might even imagine yourself for a moment on a journey from your brain. Your awareness is obviously in your brain if you're thinking, right? And then just imagine yourself going on a little journey all the way down. Maybe you're scaling down your spine, this little imaginary person that is you, right? Your inner awareness. Allow yourself to cascade down the spine towards the pelvis, down the thighs. And then maybe you once more cascade down your shins all the way down to your feet, bringing your gratitude with you. And then once you've taken a nice massage on one foot, go ahead and land it on the ground. Notice any subtle differences from left to right. And then we'll hop our awareness over to the other foot. So you can either bring your foot on the earth, start to massage through grains of sand. You might even take yourself back to a memory of a time when you felt at peace. Maybe it was a time that you've spent at a beach. And just imagining your feet massaging the sand. Oops, I'm losing this little ball. So much gratitude. Thinking back as to all the places our feet have taken us and offering them thanks for that. You might just even take a moment to ponder the intricate design of your feet. All the bones, the muscles, tendons. Without even really knowing all of those names of those bones, we know that they're there and they're supporting us. And then go ahead and plant both feet now just directly on the mat or on the ground. Actually, I'm not using a mat, just FYI, because if you sit with your chair on a mat, it turns out it can make permanent indentation. So I just didn't feel the need for a mat. So go ahead and allow your feet to just come to rest. Allow your eyes to come to rest. See about lengthening through the spine. And then you can either keep your hands resting on your lap, or you might bring both palms to rest on your heart. Maybe if you're resting your hands on your heart, can feel that contact with your heart center. And then bring your awareness from your feet all the way back up into your heart center, taking that little journey. Once you arrive here, notice if maybe there is a message from yourself. So often we are finding all these messages, looking for messages from the outside world. You can just go ahead and allow yourself to give yourself any kind of message. Maybe it's a message of gratitude. Maybe it's an intention for your practice today. And I got that book, and then what did I do with it? Curious. So as you come to rest here, you might have an intention for your practice. And actually, I'll just share with you the very first niyama that I can remember off the top of my head. And actually, it's called a yama. So in yoga, we have ethical practices. There are 10 of them. And they're called the yamas and the niyamas. The very first yama is called ahimsa, and it means non-violence. You might imagine, how can you practice today non-violence, even with yourself, being soft and kind and gentle, imagining yourself as your own best friend. And then allow whatever intention you set to be like a glowing jewel at your heart center. Imagine such a beautiful stone, precious jewel. Allow the rays of light to shine from your heart center, creating a glow all around your body. And then when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open, and we'll come to maybe the edge of your chair. So now, instead of leaning into that pillow, you can be kind of sitting right at the end so that you can allow yourself to sit upright. And then we're going to start a few tilts from the pelvis. And this is almost going to look like a cat-cow, tuning our awareness into our pelvis, tuning our awareness into our deep core muscles. So you can start to inhale, tip your pelvis forward, and then exhale, round your pelvis back. And you can imagine your pelvis is a nice big bowl, and you might feel the contents spilling forward on your inhale, and then exhale, spilling back. And as you draw your pelvis back in space, can you draw the navel a bit towards the spine? So it's almost like gathering up. And then we'll start to bring the spine along for the ride. So you can make this movement a little bit bigger, bringing us into cat and cow. So for cow pose, we'll inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine, round into the shoulders. And you can make these movements as big or as small as you'd like. Luna approves. Just remembering that you are your very own best teacher, and this is your own unique practice. Take one more nice deep breath like this. And then we'll come back to center. You can come back to a neutral spine. And as you come back to a neutral spine, ground down through your feet, ground down through your sit bones, and just see if you can activate your low core a little bit right below the belly button. You might just feel a gentle pulling in As you lengthen your spine, allow the crown of your head to open up towards the sky. And then we're going to do a little bit for the arms. So let's do some sun salutations. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Look up. And then exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, bring them down to the thighs. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to the sides. You might imagine each time you look up and lift up, the sun shining on you, saluting the sun. And you might even be so active in your feet and legs that you almost feel like you could press up to stand. And if you wanted to, you could add that in. But you're welcome to stay seated. This is chair yoga, however, right? So we might as well stay in our seat. We're going to add a twist. So the next time you inhale, lift your arms up, look up. Exhale, bring the right hand down either to the inner thigh or maybe across to the opposite, your knee. And then you could start to open the left arm behind you. And you could even rest your hand on your thigh too, if it felt too intense for your shoulder. Find softness in your twist. And just allow your gaze to soften behind your shoulder as much as you can, as much as feels comfortable. Maybe it's just out to the side. With each inhale, find a little bit of length through the spine. And with each exhale, you might find just a millimeter more of space. Then we'll inhale, release your twist. Come back to center. Take a moment to close down the eyes or soften the gaze. Bringing your awareness back into your heart center, back into that place of calm. Your center of peace. And then we'll start to inhale, open the eyes, reach the arms up and overhead. And this time we're going to clasp hands, draw the hands to the heart center. Press the palms together a little bit so you can find some strength in your arms. And then we'll inhale, sweep the arms up, scoop it in, and then again, draw the hands to the heart center this time. We call this gesture of gratitude, Anjali Mudra. And it's like a prayer position. So as you invite in all the goodness, bring it to your heart center. And maybe you can think of one thing that you're grateful for each time. And it's a practice. Maybe I'm grateful for my cat. Oh, she's so cute. I'm so glad she wanted to join us. I'm grateful for my spine. Oh, so strong, so tall. And you might notice yourself building a little bit of heat. The next time your hands reach up towards the sky, inhale to reach them up, look up, and then exhale. You can sweep your left hand either to your inner thigh or maybe all the way across to your opposite knee. And then you can bring that right hand out to the side. Maybe you start to reach it back, or you could rest it also on your thigh. And then you might turn your gaze slightly to the right. Maybe you can turn it past your right shoulder. With each inhale, imagining your spine is lengthening. And with each exhale, it might turn your gaze a little more softly to the right without straining. Take a nice deep breath, and on your exhale, you can unwind your twist. Come back to center. Take a moment to tune your awareness into your breath. And then when you're ready, we'll blink the eyes open. And let's bring our awareness down to our feet next. So you can start to press into your feet and then lift your heels. On your exhale, lower your heels back down and lift your toes. And we're just going to alternate rocking forward and back, lifting the heels and then lifting the toes. Sending those little bubbles of gratitude all the way down into your feet. Thank you, feet. And then you might start to play around here with maybe lifting the foot, finding some other kinds of movement. So you're like basically pivoting on the toes, just finding some ankle rotations. Coming back to this idea of massaging through the feet. And then maybe you alternate one heel at a time. And then we'll start to increase this marching. So you might even slow it down and start to press your palms into your thighs, just creating a little bit of resistance. Maybe you can feel that gentle pulling in of the navel right below the belly button. And maybe you want to make this a little more challenging and pick your whole entire foot up off the ground. And you might provide a little bit of resistance with your hands or no resistance at all. You could play around with both versions and just see, how does it feel? Marching it out. Maybe you want to point the toes. Imagine your toes. We're going to grip a pencil as you lift. We'll take one more nice deep breath here. And when you're ready, you can come back to center. And we'll start to march the feet out wide to the sides. Oops, got to get the ball out of the way. And we'll come into a goddess squat. So for this, I'm coming right to the edge of the chair. So my sit bones are still on the chair. And I can feel the fact that I went to the gym yesterday. My inner thighs are very sore right now. From here, we'll inhale, reach the arms out and up, and then look up. Take a moment to gather up anything you'd like to release, anything you'd like to get rid of. And then we're going to come into a lion's breath. So you can cactus the arms down to the sides. And maybe you gather up anything you no longer need. You can exhale, release it with the lion's breath. Sticking out the tongue, scrunching up the face. And I love how that lion's breath feels right here in my temples and my jaw. Do you have any tension there? Am I the only one? Let's go ahead and inhale, reach the arms up, and we'll do this 2 more times. Cactus the arms, stick out the tongue, spread the fingers wide. Maybe even shake it out, let it go. Another thing I heard a teacher say recently in classes, think about anything that you recently wanted to say that you knew was inappropriate, but you really wanted to say it. Gather up any of those things, reach it up, gather it up, and then reach it out. And then go ahead and take your fingertips to your temples and your thumb to your jaw and just give yourself a gentle massage here. It could be nice later in the day you have like some essential oils or something to just kind of bring in a gentle massage. And then we'll open the arms out wide to the side so you can cup the hands now behind the head. We're going to do some oblique stretches, some side stretches. So we'll start to bring the right elbow down towards the right knee and reach the left elbow up. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, switch sides. You can go as far as you like. And if it's too much for the inner thighs, you could also bring the knees back to center. It's just we have infinite variations. Take a moment to really luxuriate in any sensations. If there's like, oh, places of tension or holding, you might just even imagine the breath is like a broom. Allow it to help sweep out any places of tension or holding in the body. One more nice deep breath on each side. And then go ahead and come back to center. Release your hands into your lap. Give yourself a moment of rest. You might close down the eyes or soften the gaze. And then we're going to do a little bit to stretch through the neck. So you might now walk your feet back in. So your knees are right underneath the hips. You can still come forward a little bit on your chair just so you can feel that bit of engagement, but allow yourself to still feel soft. Lengthen through your spine, and then on your next exhale, you can press your palms into your thighs and allow your head to gently bow towards your heart. On the next inhale, allow the right ear to come any amount towards the right shoulder. You might find a nice stretch along the left side of the neck. Maybe you even want to reach your left hand out to the side. You could play around with lifting and lowering the palm, maybe even flexing into the fingers, making a fist, rotating the wrist, or you might even slide that left hand onto your low back. We'll take another nice deep breath here, and then on your next exhale, bring your hand back into your lap, soften your head down towards your heart. Take a nice deep breath here. And then on your next inhale, you can slide your left ear over towards your left shoulder. You might just stay right here with your hands in your lap. Or if you wanted to explore reaching the right hand out, so you're finding that stretch all along the right side of your neck. Maybe you play around with flexing the fingertips up towards the shoulder, making a fist, some rotation with the wrist. Or you could slide that right hand onto your low back. And you can find stillness, or I forgot to mention on the other side, you might even find just a little bit of movement, maybe noticing some no nods. But don't crank the neck. The idea is to find softness, stillness. And then when you're ready, you can inhale and then exhale to release. Bring both hands onto your thighs. Bow your head towards your heart. And then we'll inhale, lift the gaze. And let's start to roll the shoulders up towards the ears and allow them to cascade down the back. Inhale, roll them up. Exhale, round them back and down. Let's take some more nice deep breaths into the shoulders. And then when you're ready, we'll reverse the direction. So you're going to start to roll the shoulders down in front and down and back, up and around. Really breathing into that area. Releasing any tension that might be stored there. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of tension in my shoulders. So much. Is that normal? Let's go ahead and inhale. Come back to stillness. Let's sweep the arms out wide to the side. And then we're going to cross the right arm in front. Sweep the left arm up anywhere along that arm. And just going to find a little bit of a shoulder stretch here. Drawing the right arm across the chest, finding a little bit of a pressure, a little bit of a hug. You might even once more make the hand into a fist and find a little bit of rotation here. And then you could also come back to stillness and maybe turn your gaze over your right shoulder. Finding a little bit of stretch for the neck. But remember, we're not looking for anything pinchy, ouchy. We just want to find that gentle sensation. Go ahead and release that side. You can bring both palms back into your lap. And then we'll inhale, sweep the arms out wide to the side, stretch the fingertips. And I think this time, now I got mixed up with my left and my right. Left arm across the chest, right? Yes, that's right. And then right hand up on the arm. I swear that's the hardest part about being a yoga teacher is left and right is so challenging for me. I don't know about you. Go ahead and reach those fingertips. Maybe you want to do some wrist rotation here. You can flex the fingertips, roll them into a fist, a gentle, soft fist. Maybe make a little sweeping motion with your wrist if you like. Then you could come back to stillness and you might peek your gaze around your left shoulder, any amount. We're not trying to force it. Remembering that each of these shapes is infinite. Our place within them is going to change from day to day. Take one more nice deep breath here, and then we'll exhale, release. Soften your hands down into your lap. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and blink the eyes open. We're going to come into a figure 4 pose. And this is where you might like to use something like a strap. You remember, you could even use a dish towel, just anything that could make your arms a little bit longer. So you're going to slide your right leg long, and then from here, you could bring your left ankle over your shin, or maybe you want to lasso the left foot with a strap, and you could maybe draw it up onto that knee. If you're able to bring it up onto the thigh, then you could soften it there, and you might keep hold of the strap if it feels like it's going to fall back down. If this is too intense, remember, you can always kind of come back. And maybe you use the strap just to hold on so that you're in a soft, gentler place. So find what would feel good to you. We're looking for a stretch in our left glutes. And really that whole exterior side of your left hip. So you can flex your toes towards your knee, your right toes towards those are your left toes towards your left knee. And then you might hold on here, and maybe you could gently press your knee away if that feels good, or just cradle the knee. Find some stability here, and you can make this sensation less if you want to lengthen that right leg, or you can make it deeper if you pull that right leg in. And then you have the option here as you inhale to lengthen through your spine. If you want to deepen the stretch, maybe this is enough sensation. Stay wherever you feel good. But if you want to deepen the stretch, you might start to fold over your legs. And that, for me, I feel a lot more stretch and sensation through the side. Take some nice deep breaths. If you want to back off, you might inhale to lengthen through the spine, coming back up to seated, and then exhale, fold over that leg. We call this figure 4 pose. In other versions of yoga classes, this is also kind of like a pigeon pose, if people are familiar with that. And you can also do this pose on your back with the support of the chair by putting this leg on the chair or against a wall. So take one more nice deep breath here. And then go ahead and release that leg. Step both feet on the mat. Take a moment in between sides to just tune your awareness into the places where you felt sensation in your body. And then we'll get ready for the other side. So you can lengthen your left leg long, maybe point your toes up towards your nose. And then you might bring just your right heel or ankle to rest on your shin. Or maybe this is where you use the strap around that ankle, and you could start to draw the foot up onto the thigh. There's so many places you can stop along the way. So find the place that feels right for you today, and it might be different from side to side. Maybe there's a way to take notice of those differences, and offer yourself compassion and curiosity. You can flex those right toes towards the knee. You might even press the knee a little bit away or just cradle the knee, offering it some gratitude. Wow, what an amazing joint it is that helps us so much in our life. And then you can inhale, lengthen through the spine. It might feel good to hinge from the hip, start to fold over that figure 4, any amount. You could always inhale to lengthen once more, exhale to continue to fold. Where can we find gratitude for our body? Where do you notice sensation? Can you send the breath there? Send your awareness there. And along with it, send gratitude. This amazing mystery of a body. Take one more nice deep breath. And on your next inhale, go ahead and float your spine up long. We'll come back to our seat. And then we're going to turn into a bit of a warrior 2. So I'm going to move my props out of the way. I will start to bring my right foot forward or to the side. So I'm opening the right leg any amount to the right. And then I'm coming forward to the front of my chair. I'm going to slide my left leg back. Now you can have the toes tucked under. That's actually like a high lunge. Or you can soften your whole foot down to the ground. So finding your own version of a lunge, whatever is going to feel good in your body. And then we can start to open our arms forward and back. We call this Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. See about drawing your navel in towards your spine, lengthening through your heart. And you could either bring your hands to your hips, or if it feels okay, float your arms forward and back. Allow your shoulders to soften. And then from here, you could bring your hands back to your shoulders. And we're just going to do a little bit of a dancing warrior. So on your inhale, you'll lift your right elbow, Exhale, lower your right elbow, lift your left elbow. And so you're just going to gently rock side to side. You could also do this with hands on hips, or you might do this floating the arm up, floating the arm over. So 3 different options. And if you're doing it at the hips, you might even just have a subtle movement forward and back, seeing how it feels in your body. We call this dancing warrior. If you have your arms long, you could slide your hand maybe down the inseam of your leg, reach that arm up. Slide your hand down the back of your leg, reach your opposite arm up. Move at the pace of your own breath, listening to your own body. Take one more nice deep breath at your own pace. And then we'll land the hands, walk the feet back into center. Take a moment to pause. Tune your awareness into your breath. And then we'll look for the other side. Any kind of variation you want. So you could start to heel toe your left leg open to the left, pivoting to the left a bit. And then start to stretch your right leg maybe back to the right. See if that feels comfortable, or come up onto the ball of the toes. That would mean you're maybe a little pivoted forward. So you might open that leg, find some strength in your core here to find your center. And maybe you keep your hands at your hips, or float your hands forward and back, or you could bring your hands to your shoulders. Find whatever version of Warrior 2 is going to work for you. And then with your inhale, we'll tip the left side forward. Maybe your left arm comes forward, your right hand might come back. We call this peaceful warrior. Exhale, the hands back to center, and then you can come over. You might slide your left hand to your inner thigh, right hand up, or maybe you even rest your forearm. We call this extended side angle. Go ahead and find your dancing warrior, whatever version will work for you. You might try elbows to shoulders. How do I like that? Arms long, or hands at hips. It could be a very subtle movement of lifting the heart and leaning forward, and finding that strength in our core to help us move. Moving slowly at the pace of your own breath, whatever pace works for you. The idea is to be mindful in your body, noticing the sensations, tuning your awareness into your breath. And I think I did way more than maybe I said we should do. I don't know if I gave a number. Whenever you feel complete, forward to back, we'll take a moment to come back to center, bringing both legs back to center. And we're going to take a moment here to find stillness before our Shavasana with a little hug. So go ahead and open your arms out wide to the side. Spread your fingertips. And then with your next exhale, bring your right arm over the top of your left. And just give yourself a nice big hug, breathing into the back, filling the back body, those delicate ribs, that long, supple spine. Fill the back body with breath. And a moment, and notice right now, locate a place on your back body and imagine that is the place that is your seat of self-care. Breathe into that space, lengthen through your back. You can stay right here in your hug. Or some people like to bring their arms into eagle arms. This seems like too much for me today. So you could wrap arms. Maybe that gives you a nicer stretch or bigger stretch, or stay in this nice, gentle hug, closing the eyes or softening the gaze, lengthening through the spine. You can still keep a gentle draw in your belly button. And then we'll inhale, sweep the arms out wide to the side. Bring to mind somebody you'd like to send a hug or a blessing to. Imagine you're able to give them a nice big hug. This time we'll wrap the left arm over the top of the right. Give them a nice good squeeze. And then start to breathe into your back body. Noticing how the hug you give to another is so similar to the hug that you're also giving to yourself. Feeling some warmth and bliss over that reciprocity. And then go ahead and release your hug when you're ready. You can bring your hands to your lap, and we're going to come into our final relaxation, our Shavasana. For this, you could either lay flat on the ground, or you could come to a seat, any kind of comfortable seat. I'm bringing my nice cute pillow here to sit behind me, and then make yourself nice and cozy. Maybe bring that pillow behind you so that you can sort of somewhat lean back at the same time sitting upright, so that you're finding some softness, some ease. Allow yourself to tune into your breath. Feel your feet rooting down on the ground. Feel the earth rise to meet you. Allow your gaze to soften with your eyelids, maybe gently closing over the top of your eyes. Allow your palms to either rest on your thighs. Maybe you want to rest your hands on your belly. Maybe you bring a little diamond shape to rest right around your navel. Allow your forehead to soften, relaxing your temple and your jaw. You might find a soft breath, noticing the rise and the fall of your breath. A moment to savor this delightful moment of quiet, allowing your mind to relax. You could release any thoughts of the past, relaxing any plans for the future. Just allowing those things to wait. Allow any thoughts to be like clouds gently passing overhead. Just watch them go by. No need to get attached to them. You might take a moment during this quiet time to offer gratitude for that powerful brain. Gratitude for all those thoughts. And then allow your awareness to once more travel back down into your heart center. Notice your beautiful glowing jewel of an intention. I love this quote from the book. I found the book from Deborah Adele on the idea of ahimsa, nonviolence. She quotes Eddie Hillesum, a young Holocaust victim. Ultimately, we have just one moral duty: to reclaim large areas of peace in ourselves. More and more peace, and to reflect it towards others. And the more peace there is in us, the more peace there will also be in our troubled world. What an amazing idea that taking care of ourselves is ultimately the most powerful act we can do to help the planet. Send yourself so much gratitude for carving out this special time and place. Gratitude to all of the people who have helped you on your journey to this point. Gratitude for this strong, healthy body that brought you here. If you're ready to reawaken your body, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rotating your wrists and your ankles gently. And go ahead and take a long body stretch, reaching your arms up, maybe reaching your legs out. Ooh, more wrist rotations. And then when you're ready, you can bring your hands to meet at your heart. Take a nice deep breath and allow your head to gently bow towards the wisdom of your loving heart. It's such an honor and privilege to guide you through your practice. I'd like to close by saying Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, which means peace, peace, peace. Thanks everyone and Luna for joining. And I'll stop the recording. So if you have any questions, let me know.